Mark, you started the Call to All movement in 2008. Could you kind of tell us what's happened since then?
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I didn't know what it was going to be. I just felt I should get the Christian leaders together around the world, and pastors at first, but then business people and marketplace people, and we just got together to discuss how do we say yes to Jesus to finish the Great Commission, and then how do we do that?
Yeah.
What does that mean? I mean, how do we measure it? How can we work together in partnership, just like Jesus said we should, you know? And he said we should work as one with him, just as he does with his Father. And so we got together, we started to take a look at evangelism and church planting and Bible translation with a whole new lens. And we did that with hundreds, and then we did that with thousands. And we've had about 40,000 leaders come together from in various parts of the world in 200 plus countries.
Wow.
So it's been a pretty wild ride.
That's amazing.
But it's moving along the Great Commission in ways that we had never dreamed.
So could you tell us a little bit about the congresses that you guys have had?
Oh yeah,
last few
sure.
years?
We call them Congress because we don't want a seminar, we don't want a conference.
Right.
It's not about a bunch of speakers. You know, it's not 14 different preachers back to back, you know, and you sit there for 12 hours and you listen to sermons, and that has its place, but that's not what you're trying to do. You know, if you come to something along with hundreds of others, you want to be part of it. You want to sit at the table and talk and plan, and you want to set goals with the Holy Spirit. You know, you want to cut partnerships with people that you're talking to and solve something. And so what we did is we gathered for 3-4 days at a time, and we would look at the big issues of the Great Commission in all categories. And then we'd commit to the Lord to do our best to solve that, to go reach the people, help change the cultures, get to the people that have never heard before, see the translations done. And from your age to mine and even older, people began to come together across the generations, across what we call spheres. And this partnership created a synergy, just an amazing multiplier of what the Lord is doing in the earth. And that's been exciting to watch. But that's what congresses are. That's why they're called congresses. We just get together, we work at tables for days over the big issues.
That's amazing. So there's a congress coming up in June in Korea. So could you tell us about this congress? Because I know there's been 24 other congresses before. So what makes this congress different and significant?
Well, that's your homeland.
Yes, my homeland. So I'm very interested to hear.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think Korea is significant. Yeah, and I just have felt for a long time that something would happen in Korea with our call-to-all congresses that would advance the Great Commission, and it'd be a very powerful thing, and that's what's shaping up. So for anybody that's listening to this, what is going to happen in Korea, I think, will be even more powerful than what we've seen in other congresses. We've seen some pretty powerful gatherings.
Yeah.
We did one in Hong Kong, really had a lot of Chinese involved and many others, and leaders from about 100 countries. But I think this is going to be more dynamic than that, and it's going to be unique in many ways. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about what we call spheres again, but they're coming from the business community, other places in the marketplace, and they're going to sit with church leaders, and we're going to figure this out together on a whole nother level.
What does that look like specifically? Like, what are some of the, what's in the program, and what are things that they'll be doing, the people who are attending the Congress?
Well, we're meeting in this place called the Kintex Convention Center, which is one of the largest in Asia. I like it because it has the big rooms where we all can get together with thousands at tables and interact, which is very dynamic. But we're also going to have breakouts in 20 other rooms with very specific categories of discussion. And we're going to have reports from top leaders in the world on each of the major categories of what we call Great Commission. Because a lot of folks don't know what is really going on. I mean, we have, what, 243 countries, 7,000 languages to deal with. We've got thousands of people groups. It gets very complicated after a while. We're going to give reports on those things. People are going to understand what the Great Commission issues are, and then we're going to work on them. But the top people in those categories in the world are going to be there, which is really going to be very exciting. But we're going to have the younger and the older generation together sitting at the tables. So emerging generation and senior generation together at the tables, which I'm very excited about because that's the Malachi 4 piece.
Yes.
Because it's your generation that's going to have to really take this thing and finish it.
So is that something that's different about this Congress? Was there not like an emphasis on the younger and the older generation?
Yeah, we had the younger, but it was a little more tokenish. I mean, they're just small numbers, 10% or something. We're intentionally going after hundreds, probably thousands of young emerging leaders at this one. And we're conditioning my age leaders to let them talk, plan, strategize. We're not just saying you sit there and you listen to us and do it our way, because your generation can't do it our way. Now we can work with you and we can teach you a lot, but your generation's so different. So we really have to work with your time period, your generation, what's happening right now on the earth. And then I believe we're going to see rapid advancement in the Great Commission stuff.
Is there anything else about the Congress program that you would want us to know before deciding to come to the Congress?
Well, yeah, I mean, particularly for young people, very interactive, a lot of media, dynamic worship. We open up the first night with hours of worship and praying over the nations. We have this huge map that's like half the size of a soccer stadium, right? That's the globe. We're going to walk on it. We're going to pray over the nations. It's very interactive, very dynamic, not conference-like. And I think by the end of the week, we're going to see some very significant shifts and partnerships and things that will make a big difference in the globe.